It's officially the beginning of the Christmas season, and if you're looking for gift ideas for somebody blind or low vision, whether they're young or not so young, I've got you covered. Hi everyone, welcome to Carrie on Accessibility, where we talk about technology and accessibility. Today we're going to go over some gift ideas that are accessible for people who are blind or low vision of pretty much all ages, and this will be non-tech related since I have a video about tech gift ideas. If you're interested in technology, go check that one out. Just like in my previous video, I also want to hear from you. What are some great gift ideas that you have? Leave them in the comments, because I know this season we're all looking for more ideas. Something really important to remember is that somebody who can't see very well or somebody with any disability doesn't necessarily need or want a gift that was created specifically for somebody with a disability. Disabled people are people and they have their own likes and interests, and so make sure to keep that in mind when you are looking for a gift for them. If you know they're really into something like maybe Star Wars or Pokemon, Minecraft, a game, Yu-Gi-Oh, or maybe even Brandon Sanderson or Will White, get some kind of merch for them and make it experiential. On Brandon Sanderson's page, they have like these little action figures of these characters that are so cool. But I digress. That's not a hint or anything. It would be great if you could find something that they can feel, smell, taste, or hear. Something that doesn't just involve looking at something to experience whatever gift it is. And while you're shopping for gifts, I'd love it if you could try out today's sponsor, Innosearch.AI. It's an accessible e-commerce shopping platform with over 1 billion products from hundreds of different retailers like Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, and so many more. I've been using it personally to shop for different Christmas gifts and maybe some early Christmas gifts for myself and my son. It's accessible with a screen reader. I love that there's an AI that I can ask a bunch of questions or get ideas from, or ask about images and reviews and things like that. There's free delivery, free returns, and it's available in the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. If you want to try it out, you can use code COA15 COA15 for $15 off your first order. Now let's move on. For taste, there's food and drinks. I personally love coffee, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. So depending on the person, it could be maybe tea or hot chocolate, or maybe, if they're adult, maybe some other types of beverages out there, that they might be interested in. For food, it could be homemade things or even just chocolate. They have assorted chocolate in this Braille gift box. Make sure the person knows Braille, but I think that's a cool idea. Or they have different tins in different shapes. Ferrero Rocher, they have it in a Christmas tree shape, which I think is really cool, or a heart shape, and so you can kind of incorporate other senses with the taste, and that's even better. It could be other sweets, or it could even be snacks. They have different snack boxes so you can experience other cultures and other snacks. I think those are really cool. Just make sure it's not something that they're allergic to. And if you are going to give this to somebody who may not be able to see the packaging, it would be really nice if you could go over what's in the box, or what there is, what are all of the different flavors. If they read Braille, it would be great if you could, put that in Braille, or even write that out in an email or large print, depending on what's best for that person, or even just go over it with them because they might have their own system or anything. But sometimes it can feel a little bit like roulette when you put your hand in that assorted popcorn or assorted chocolate and you take something and you're like, I have no idea what this is, but we're gonna find out. For smell, it could just be anything that smells good, whether that's essential oils or diffuser or those little wax melts, soaps, lotions, candles. I love candles. Maybe bath bombs or anything like that could be some really good gifts. For sound, it could be music. Maybe it's a CD or vinyl if they have a vinyl player. Maybe an accessible radio, as somebody in the comments mentioned in the tech gifts ideas. It could be anything, even a mixtape. I've never gotten one of those, but that seems like such a cool concept. It could not just be a tape though, maybe like an SD card or a folder where you like collect music that you think they'd enjoy, and then it could even be subscription to some kind of music streaming app, whether that's like Apple Music or YouTube Music or Amazon Music, something like that. Or it could be some kind of instrument or instrument related. Maybe it's an instrument they want to start learning. If you're starting out, they're not usually as picky. So if it's a musician, I would probably not get them an instrument because you may not know what they prefer. But it could be something related. Maybe a music student needs a new metronome, or somebody who plays guitar and you find some interesting, cool picks that they could try out, or something that is personal to them with like a personalized, maybe with their name or engraving or something similar to that. If it even has texture, that would be even better. For feel, it could be something warm, fuzzy, fleecy, Sherpa, that kind of texture to it. Or it could be just something interesting, some type of tactile art, something that they can appreciate by feeling. Maybe something with raised lines. Perhaps some kind of puzzle. I love 3D puzzles. Not the 3D jigsaw puzzles, but the wooden puzzles. I do know a few low vision people who like 3D jigsaw puzzles, but I find them really challenging. I prefer those puzzle experiences. I get them on my YouTube feed all the time. Put all these pieces in a box, or put this pyramid or this ball back together. Those are really cool because you can do all of those just by touch. Oh, and I feel like I have to include some kind of accessible Rubik's Cube because those are really fun, at least for me. Another idea is an experience. Maybe it is a class or going out somewhere. Sometimes we can find it difficult to get out of the house or do something different on our own. That can be challenging for a lot of us. So if you want to go with us somewhere cool, a concert, a museum, a theme park, that's another great idea. Another idea that's a little bit on the obvious side and maybe cliche is a gift card or cash. I don't know anybody who doesn't want cash or gift cards, and they can purchase whatever they want instead of trying to figure out what they could best appreciate. That kind of takes it out of your hands and lets them decide. And even if it feels a little less personal, I don't think anybody will be complaining for cash or gift cards. If you're able, offer to give somebody a ride. As somebody blind, legally blind, cannot drive, it's always really helpful to have another person that you can turn to when you really need a ride. Or maybe if you don't want to do that, you can always get them an Uber or Lyft gift card. Super helpful. One of the best gifts I've ever gotten was a $100 Uber gift card. Didn't last that long, but it was amazing. It was great. The next category would be talking products, low vision products, or Braille products. Now, this is a huge category, and again, with Braille, most blind low vision people do not read Braille. So if you are considering a Braille product, make sure that they are one of the people that can read Braille. If they're into cooking, it could be a talking large print thermometer or timer or measuring cups. I do not recommend a talking measuring cup, by the way. I do not recommend it. Sorry. It could even be some type of appliance, maybe an oven toaster or air fryer, but please make sure that it's accessible, at least tactile, maybe a smart one. They may need help setting it up, but if it can interface with something like Amazon Echo devices or their phone, but that can be really hard because a lot of apps are not accessible with screen readers. So, better safe than sorry. And I kind of prefer the tactile ones. So sometimes having something just tactile is just easier. Speaking of appliances, something that's super helpful, a stocking stuffer, bump dots. You can put them on appliances and it helps somebody who can't see just feel the buttons. Doesn't really work with a touch screen, but for microwaves or even oven toasters, marking where the temperature is, that can be just really helpful. I personally have these Halo icon stickers. I did a video on it a while ago, and it has lasted. Not even one of these stickers have come off. They are tactile. They have different shapes, different sizes. The start button looks like a play button. The stop button feels like an X, and then there's the popcorn button. It just feels like what it is. I actually really recommend them. It's been a couple months and it has held up so well. They are a little bit on the big side and they are like a little flat, but that actually helps them stay on for a longer time. So I definitely recommend those. There are also games, and they have large print playing cards, and they have like these dark mode kind of really large print playing cards that I actually really, really like. There's Braille Uno and other Braille card games. There's Braille Scrabble or Braille Monopoly. All sorts of things, even just tactile board games. There's tactile chess and checkers, and those can be fun. There are a lot of large print or low vision products out there, just bold line pens like the Bold 20, the Bold 40. I love the easy to see products. They have like monthly planners for both students or calendar year. There's a organizer and address book, which I did a video about recently. I think that's a great gift idea. There's even low vision notebooks with bold lines. There's calendars both in large print and in Braille. For Braille, there are so many different trinkets, whether it's a travel mug with Braille on it or like little keychains. They make jewelry with Braille or tactile art. There's art for the blind that uses wood and etches out Braille and stuff on them. There are so many, even just blind and low vision people that are crafty and make all sorts of things that somebody who is blind or low vision would appreciate. One year I went to the NFB convention and I got this little bag that has a heart and you can feel it, and it says love in Braille, and I ended up giving that to my sister. So finding those people, those crafty people that make this kind of stuff, you can do two things. Support somebody who is blind or low vision themselves, and get like this cool gift for somebody else in your life that is also blind or visually impaired. I love this idea of supporting blind artists, blind creators, blind businesses. So if you can find something like that to support and something that the person you're looking for a gift for would appreciate, that would be great. A friend of mine got me a glam cane. It's a cane that has rhinestones all over it. I think it's really pretty. Maybe something from a Werewolf Gear, one of their canes, the Urban Explorer, or the All-Terrain cane. They actually expand and collapse. They're made of titanium, I think. They sound pretty cool, and it's made by somebody who is visually impaired themselves. Two blind brothers have clothes that have Braille embroidered on them with the color of that piece of clothing. That seems like a cool idea to me. There's probably a lot of other businesses out there that kind of have something similar, and maybe people can leave those in the comments. For clothes, something that I think so many of us can appreciate are pockets, especially for ladies. I don't know what's up with these fake pockets, but something with real pockets. I love my yoga pants with pockets. They are a lifesaver. I go around everywhere with my phone, and they have like large pockets that can accommodate like a huge phone. So I love those types of things. Sometimes people don't realize how much of an accessibility tool a phone is. It's not just, we can go on apps and use social media, consume content, but this has my magnifier. This can read stuff for me, and so I want to be able to bring that wherever I go. Don't underestimate the value of pockets. You could also get somebody a book if they're into books, maybe an Audible subscription, or even a TV streaming subscription would be nice, or a movie with audio description. Blind people like to watch too. I also wanted to have a separate section for blind and low vision kiddos out there. My son is visually impaired. A lot of the things that I mentioned earlier could still be great gifts for kids or older kids, but this section will be for the younger crowd. One of the things that my son loved when he was little, he's low vision. He still has some vision, and so he liked things with the lights and sounds that really engaged him, even at a very young age. One of his favorites that I still remember are sound puzzles. Melissa and Doug's sound puzzles. They were so much fun. There were ones with shapes and animals and instruments. You use the piece to cover up the spot and it will make a sound. It was really, really neat. There's also books with buttons. Those don't usually read it for you, but the kids will just absolutely love pressing those buttons. At least my son did. There's also building toys like Mega Blocks when they're very young, and then you can move up to Lego Duplo, maybe Lego Junior. We skipped that and we just went straight to Lego. It's really difficult though to get sets and follow instructions and try to find all those tiny pieces. So something where you can just create your own thing is usually better, instead of trying to get them to create some kind of rocket ship Lego set. If you do it with them, then that could be a nice experience, but it could be very challenging for them to do it by themselves. If you want to have different sets, and whether it's science kits and art kits that you want to do together, that's always so much more fun. We had a soap making kit, a candle making kit. That was kind of hard, but the soap making kit was so much fun. We had a blast making those and giving them all away. Other things like slime and Play-Doh, kinetic sand, those you can touch and feel. Those are also really great. I also highly recommend Crayola Slick Sticks, STIX, for younger low vision users out there. This was the best crayon when my son was young. Super bold and colorful, and you didn't need to press too hard. There's also magnetic drawing boards. We didn't have this particular one, but we had something similar to it, but it has little balls and you use this little pen to raise the balls. You can draw tactile pictures that way, and then you just push down the dots when you want to clear it. There's also wiki sticks, which are these wax covered pieces of yarn, and they hold their shape. You can cut them, you can bend them, you can make them into 3D art, or you can use them to draw different things on a piece of paper. And there's also the blind Barbie, and she is holding a cane. They also have balls that have either a bell inside them when you kick them around, or just a constant beeper that can help with sports, trying to get them active. Then it could be music related. Maybe you want to give them lessons or get lessons for the children. Even to this day, my son is 8 and he loves things that have lights. Loves glow in the dark. Anything glow in the dark, glow sticks, glow balls. I got him this little lantern, or you could get a night light that changes color. It's a hit. On the flip side of that, there are some challenges. I probably wouldn't recommend things like darts or jigsaw puzzles or remote control cars or remote control planes and drones and things like that for somebody who is blind or low vision. It can be quite challenging. So of course there's always exceptions, maybe with some help and guidance, or maybe there's an accessible version, things like that. That could, be helpful, but they can present challenges like Nerf guns, archery. I love those things, but you know how difficult it is to find the bullets or the arrows? Oh goodness, it takes me forever to find those. And you know what? If they have a blind or low vision parent, can you do us a favor? Just probably not get those. Probably not. Ask us first. Thank you. I mean, really, in general, if you have questions, you can always ask either the parent, the friend, the close relative of either the child or even just the adult. See if they have any ideas, or at least can help give you an idea to start from. Oh, and one more thing that I forgot to mention for kids would be stuffed animals or squishmallows. Something that they can carry around with them. I think a lot of children love stuffed animals, and my son is no exception. I'm no exception. I like them too. And again, you can incorporate that with something else that they're interested in. So, for example, I got my son a Pikachu plushie. I also got my son a stuffed version of our dog. So we have a boxer who can be, a little energetic. And so he has one that he calls Little Okie. That's our dog's name, Okie. And so he can carry that around with him, and he loves it. So that's just another little idea. There you go. Those are some gift ideas and maybe some guidelines and things to think about while you shop for a gift for somebody in your life who's blind or low vision. I hope this helps and maybe at least is a starting point. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have your own ideas, again, leave those in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for more videos, and if you'd like to support the channel and what I do, consider becoming a YouTube or Patreon member. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Take care.